My name's Nick Eccles. I'm one of the partners here at Sudells Farm. I farm alongside my parents and my brother. We're milking 200 cows. We lamb a few ewes and keep 100 store beef. We're based in Preston. My roles are looking after the dairy herd, so I look after the day-to-day running of the milking system, looking after the health of the cows, reproduction, and making sure everything's healthy and happy and producing milk. We use a robotic milking system to milk the cows. So we currently have 3 Lancashire 5s. The cows can visit these with free access, so they can be milked when they want and how often they want. We also use a robotic feed pusher to keep the feed pushed up to the cows. The robotic feed pusher runs every 2 hours, keeping that feed pushed up 24 hours a day, making sure we get maximum intakes of forage. And we also use 2 robotic scrapers to clean the sheds. All the cows have collars around their necks. It has a monitor on it which monitors rumination, so that's measuring the movement of the muscle in her neck, and then we can determine in how many minutes a day she's chewing her cud. If a cow's rumination drops, the amount of minutes she's chewing her cud, it's a good sign that she's unhealthy or there's something wrong with it, and we can pull her out and have a look. It also monitors activity, so if she's moving a lot more, that can be a sign she's in heat, so we can get her served and in calf. And yeah, it just helps keep the cows healthy and gives me lots of data to make informed decisions about their health. Previously, we were milking the cows through a parlour. The parlour was 25 years old, milking 8 cows a side. We needed to update that parlour because it was worn out and it was taking a long time to milk the cows. So we looked into different milking systems moving forward. So we did look at bigger parlours, and we also looked at a robotic system. We decided the robotic system was right for us. It allowed us to milk more cows more often without extra labour, which can be difficult to find. So we went on the journey of building a brand new shed on a greenfield site. So we designed a brand new cow shed focused on cow comfort, so the cows were happy in their environment, and it was designed so the cows can freely access robots inside the shed. This all began 6 years ago, and once we had completed the shed and had those robots installed, one day, with the help of quite a few friends and family, we moved all the cows across and started the system up. During that first week of starting up, all the cows had to be trained. It was quite a shock for the cows, having to learn to go to the robots by themselves and have that robotic arm coming underneath them. So there was a lot of staff required in that very initial week to try and keep those cows calm, and we brought the cows to the robots up to 5 times a day, and then after a week of doing that, we started to step back and the cows started to visit themselves. And then that difficult training period is where all the hard work is, and once you get that out of the way, you're on a journey to having an easier life, in my opinion. When we first started the robotic system, we faced some challenges, particularly with learning the machine and the software that runs the machines. We have support from the Lely team. They have a team called the Farm Management Support, which help us train us how to get the most out of the machines, whether it's through different settings, how to calibrate the robot so it's working efficiently. And we also have some advice and training from the engineers. We get a lot of good support from the engineering team. They have a base locally. They're always on the phone 24 hours a day, and they're there to support us if there's any issues with the robots breaking down. Because there were some of the difficulties with starting up a robotic system, is just getting over that big leap into new technology, learning the software, learning how to use the technology efficiently, and dealing with any breakdowns. So the support was very key to this project working. Measuring the success of this project, we're looking at milk yields is probably the biggest thing coming into us. We're looking at how the health of the cows is improved, so we're in a lot of discussions with the vets. We share data with the vets, and they produce reports on fertility, cases of mastitis, ketosis, milk fever. We share information with our nutritionists as well, and they produce reports on the diet, how efficiently that diet's working now with the robots. So the biggest thing for me is milk from forage, because if we can get a lot of milk from forage, that's a cheap source of energy to produce milk rather than buying expensive purchased feeds. So we also do costings as well to produce margin per cow and margin per litre. I also put these prices, so the prices of my feed and my milk prices, into the Lely software, and that actually produces me a margin per cow, which I can see on a live daily basis. So I know which way the direction the cows are moving, whether we're improving our profitability or things need looking at. That way we can then look into that data a bit more and try and fix any issues and get the cows producing more profitable milk. Going forward, we plan to expand. The project's been very successful for us, so we're actually installing a fourth milking robot in a different shed. We're going to move our first calved cows from this shed into their own separate group. That way we aim to try and improve the performance of that group of cows, which can be vulnerable in quite a large shed with some bigger older cows. So we're very happy to install another robot and try and improve the performance of the cows even more. The technology and the robotics we've brought into our system has definitely made my life more flexible. I'm not tied to milking the cows twice a day at the same time every day. I can go off into the field with a tractor knowing with confidence the robots are milking the cows, and if there's any issues I get notifications or phone calls on my phone from the robot, and I can either come back to the farm and sort it out, or I can direct staff sort any issues out. In terms of family life, it also means I can spend more time with my family. I can be in sooner at night, be out later in the mornings, or I can go off for days off knowing that everything's running smoothly. And like I said, having that constant contact with the robot means I have peace of mind, everything's working, and I can soon sort out any issues if there is any.